Thank you. Once upon a time, there were two best friends, and their names were Frog, and Toad. And they were best friends. And they both went to their homes. And they waved to all their animal friends in the forest. And they went inside and they hibernated for the winter. All of the animals hibernated for the winter. They all went to sleep for the winter. And they slept and slept and slept. And they slumbered and slumbered and slumbered. But soon, April came. And when April comes, what happens? So, Frog was very happy to get up and greet the spring. He came out of his home and he stretched because he had a nice time sleeping. But he had some work to do, so he started to clean off those windows. And then he painted his door. And he had to get his shape because he had put on a few pounds, so he did some jumping jacks. Did some dancing too. And so he hopped over into the forest to see all of his animal friends. When he got there, he waved to everybody, and everyone waved to him. But he started looking around. He didn't see his friend Frog. So, didn't see his friend Toad. And so he hopped over to Toad's house. And he didn't see anything going on, so he looked through Toad's window. He looked around Toad's backyard. Now, Toad was known to be stubborn. So do you guys think that stubborn Toad woke up for the spring? No! So Frog is going to try to wake up Toad. So Frog went to knock on Toad's door.
What?
So he tried again.
Stop bothering me!
So he tried again.
Go away!
So Frog is going to need some help waking up that stubborn Toad. So on the count of 3, we're going to say, wake up Toad, it's springtime. 1, 2, 3. Toad came out of the house and said, it's springtime. Why did you say so? And all the animals joined together to celebrate the new spring. One day, Toad and Frog both went to check their mailboxes. Sit down. Toad just dug into his mailbox before the narrator said so, but that's okay. He knew what to do. Frog got a lot of letters because Frog was a popular frog. Frog was so excited about the letters that he got, he wanted to show Toad the letters. So he hopped over to Toad's house, all the way across the other side of the forest. When he got there, Toad was checking her mailbox. So Toad told Frog that she never got any letters, and that made her really sad. So because she didn't get any letters, Toad went to her home, all sad home with the sad door, went to the sad window, looking sad, to be the saddest Toad you could ever be. Frog didn't want his best friend to be sad, so he went back over to his home. And he went inside, found some paper, and he started to write Toad a letter. And when he finished, he came out and he had his letter. for Toad, because he wants to surprise Toad. Toad is his friend. So he needed somebody to deliver the letter for him, so he hopped into the forest. Now, I wonder who he asked first to deliver those letters for him. No, I don't think the bees are going to carry that letter for him. So he hopped to the other side of the forest to look for someone else. I wonder who he found over there to ask to deliver the letters. So if he didn't ask the bees, and he didn't ask the birds, who do you think he asked? Okay. So Frog hopped over to the snail to give the snail the letter. And the snail said he would deliver it as fast as he could. Here's the snail that the man will deliver. Frog and Toad and all of their friends had so much fun during the springtime. You wouldn't believe some of the things they did. They did stuff like plant their gardens. They flew kites. Rode their bicycles. Bounced the basketballs. Then they shot the basketballs. You're still shooting basketball. Keep shooting. And they threw baseballs, and they hit baseballs, and they had picnics. The days flew by and soon it was summer. What are some cool things we do in the summer? We do stuff like go swimming, play video games, go surfing, and drink lemonade. What goes good with a tall, cool glass of lemonade? sunny summer day, Frog was at her house, sitting on that stump, sitting on the stump, bored out of her mind. I mean, she tried to call somebody. They said, don't call me, text me. Try to check her Facebook page. Nothing but memes. So she decided to go into her house with her board door, stand in her board window, and just be a bored frog. Meanwhile, Toad was at her home. Now when Toad gets bored, Toad doesn't hope about it. Toad likes to bake. So Toad went over to her new Hashitachi outdoor kitchen grill that can withstand the weather and won't rust out on her in the forest. And so she got her cookie pan and she sprayed it up, sprayed it. And then she rolled the dough. And then she cut little shapes. She likes hearts. Sprinkle some sugar on that cookie. And sprinkle some cinnamon on those cookies. And then she was getting ready to put them in the oven, but then she forgot something. So she hopped over into her house. And she went inside. Started to look for her special ingredient. So she's looking through the cabinets, looking up under the sink in the pantry. And then she found it. And she came out. Dun, 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 dun. She found that hot sauce. So she went back over to her kitchen. And she put a little hot sauce on there, just to add a little kick to it. But she wanted a little bit more, so she put a little bit more in there. Then she said, oh man, forget it. She took the top off and just dumped the rest of that on there. And so then she put her cookies in the oven and she went back home while they baked so she could cook those cookies later. Meanwhile, bored old Frog was still bored. So Frog came out of her home, said, well, since I can't text anybody and don't have really good Wi-Fi out here in the forest, I'm gonna go ahead and hop over into the forest, see what everybody's doing. But when she got to the middle, she stopped and she could smell the sweet aroma of some habanero cookies baking. She knew who was baking those cookies. So she hopped over to Toad's house. She looked at Toad's window and didn't see Toad. Looked around Toad's backyard and didn't see her. So she decided she was gonna get some of those cookies for herself. So she opened up the cookies. When she opened up the oven, Toad could smell the cookies. Wow. Toad tried to stop Frog, but Frog didn't do it. Frog had ate one. And it was spicy. I mean, it was really spicy. So Frog and Toad had an idea. They were gonna share these spicy hot habanero, super hot Mario cookies with their friends. I mean, hey, you make sure you tip the waiter, sir. Knocking down the tray. And so after they all got their cookies, they all held their cookies up for a cookie toast. And they said, these are for all the spicy, super hot cookies we're gonna eat. And they all ate them. spicy cookies if you can't share them with all your friends? Yum.
Eating cookies, we're so happy. Eating cookies, 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 we adore. Cookies, 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 we are cookies. Eating cookies, maybe we should stop. Just one more.
I can't hear you.
Eating cookies, we're so happy. Eating cookies, 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 we adore. Cookies, 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 we are cookies. Eating cookies, we will never stop. Let's have
Hey, here we go. Down
the
it.
hill, we are sliding down the hill, everybody down the hill. What a thrill, so exciting, we're so thrilled to be riding down the hill. But everything was not okay. The hills grew steeper and the sled started going faster and faster.
Autumn came, and the leaves started falling from the trees. Frog had decided to hop over to Toad's house. And Toad decided to hop over to Frog's house. Now, when Toad got to Frog's house, he was looking around, and he was like, man, you need to do something about your yard before you get a letter from HOA. Frog was looking at Toad's house, and she was looking around, and she was like, man, I ain't never seen a mess like this. Just leaves everywhere. So, Frog had decided to start raking up leaves at Toad's house to help him out. And Toad decided to start raking up leaves at Frog's house to help her out. And they were working, and they were working, and it was just hot that day. I mean, hot. It was hot. So Frog and Toad decided, well, Frog decided to call some of her animal friends over to help rake up those leaves. And Toad decided to get some of his friends to come help and rake up leaves too. And they was doing yard work and raking up, raking up those leaves and cleaning up everything, painting. And they stopped and they saw that the work they did was good. They shook hands. And when you have your friends come help you out at your house, you need to feed them. So they sat down for a picnic to eat. They sat down to eat. And they ate and ate. They told jokes. And when they finished eating their fill, they all took a nap. Yeah, they took a nap. Now, they were working, but there was one group of animals that didn't like to help anybody. The squirrels. Do you all think the squirrels helped rake up any leaves? Instead, they walked around gathering their own food and they laughed like this. So instead of helping, this is what the squirrels did.
Hey, 2 piles of leaves!
Then they jumped on the leaves and they rushed them on. They did the thing, and they did the crossing on the leaves, and they did the hike on the leaves. They flossed on the leaves. They did everything on the leaves. They threw them and tossed them and rolled and tossed them. And when they finished, they snuck back off into the woods with that evil laugh. I mean, the squirrels, I'm telling you, man, they'll tear it up. So when Frog and Toad both woke up from their nice nap, they looked around and saw that all the leaves had been messed up. And they were upset. I mean, downright just mad about it. But in the end, what did Frog and Toad learn? And meanwhile, guess who's still trying to deliver Frog and Toad's letter? The snail took so long that it became winter and everyone was cold in their original spot. Now, what are some things we do in the winter time? We do things like drink hot chocolate. We put on earmuffs, big coats. We put on our gloves. We throw snowballs at our parents. And we warm our hands by the fire. And we stop throwing snowballs. And one day, Frog asked Toad to go sledding. Now, Toad didn't like all that stuff. He's like, man, I can't get out there and get hurt. So Frog said, hey, do you want to go sled? And Toad said, Frog said, it's gonna be fun. And Toad said, Frog said, everybody's gonna be there. And Toad said, Frog said, they're gonna have pizza. And Toad said, so Frog convinced Toad that it was gonna be an okay ride and nobody was gonna get hurt. He promised nobody was gonna get hurt. And so Toad said, okay, I'm gonna go on a sleigh ride. So we're going on a sleigh ride, everybody. Are you ready? Then away we go. You're on the sled. Down the Well, the sled was going so fast that everybody fell off the sled. Frog fell off the sled too, even though he promised nobody would get hurt. So Frog was trying to get over there to apologize, and because he had fell off, this made Toad so angry, She said she was never gonna speak to Frog again. But just when she said that, guess who finally arrived? Guess who finally arrived? The snail told the letter, and Toad read it. And she thought it was a nice thing that Frog wrote a letter so she wouldn't be sad. And then she realized that they were best friends after all. And so, because they were friends again, all the animals felt better, and Frog and Toad both hopped to their homes. It was time to get ready for the winter again, so we all waved to Frog and say, "Good night, Frog." And then we waved to Toad, and we said, Toad said, "Man, I'm going to go sleep." And so they all went back to sleep for the winter, and they dreamt about all the adventures that awaited for them next spring. But before they knew it, spring was here again. And when springtime comes, do you remember what happens? And Frog and Toad came out of their homes, and they want to celebrate another year of being Frog and Toad with their friends.